Then we go into the junior section, 7 months to 2 years old, which is 12 to 24 years old. 12 to 24 years old, they're going through the teenage stage. So they're a sloppy teenager, and they're also trying to find their way in life, so they're very investigative and they're going out and getting about the place. So when you've got a cat at this stage, you're very young kitten, when you take it to the vets, there's certain things that vets should go through with you anytime you take a kitten to the vets. So that will be things like the vaccinations, covering them against any infectious diseases, parasite control, so against worms and fleas, then neutering, and we put microchipping in as well with neutering. We tend to like to do them both together. A microchipping needle is just as large as a human body use needle, so it's a very large needle, and that going into a young 6-week-old kitten's back can be a little bit painful. So we like to do it when they're under anaesthetic, being neutered at the age between 5 to 6 months. And we also advise that you keep kittens indoors until that age as well. It's just a little bit safer for them. The vets on the blue diets with you, they'll discuss the best diet that your little kitten should be on. And they'll talk to you about grooming and nail clipping. This is the best chance for you to get a good routine in with your little one. If you're trying to do a little one's nails at the ages of 4 or 5, then if they haven't had them done before, it can be quite a struggle, as I learned with Bumble at 5 kilos, having never done it as a kitten. Didn't like it at all. So as a very young kitten, get them used to just having the tips cut off their nails. Your vet will be able to show you how to do this, and it is a very simple procedure to carry out. And insurance. Insurance is a major thing that all vets should be telling you about. If you don't want to get insurance, make sure you've got another means of paying for your cat's medical treatment.
I'm just holding up for a second while I give these out.
The one thing that we don't want anybody to have to do is to make a decision on their cat's life due to financial constraints. If anybody wants to come and take a seat, you're more welcome to sit down. It'll make me feel less nervous. You can get up and leave at any point as well. So we'll talk about common medical problems in kittens. Congenital defects. Generally they will be a lot younger and we don't tend to see them coming to the vets for those things. Infectious diseases. Again, we should be able to be getting them vaccinated against anything that is too bad, but they're still susceptible to some infectious diseases. Parasitic infections. We've spoken to you about fleas and worms. There's one that's very common in little kittens called trichomoniasis. Has anybody heard of that one? Basically, it's a parasite that just affects the intestinal system, and it gives them diarrhea and soft stools. And people have gone through months and months of diet trials and changes only to find that it's this parasite. So if you ever have a kitten that has recurrent diarrhea or soft feces, it's worth asking to be checked out for that parasite. Accident and injury, like I said before, they're very young, so they get into all sorts of trouble. These are the sort of ages where they can fall into... Did you guys want to try those 2 seats in the front here? So accident and injury, make sure that they get access to the tumble dryer. We have had a little one that's come into us following being in the tumble dryer. Luckily she was okay, but it could have been a lot worse. Behaviour is my favourite subject when we're talking about cats. Absolutely love it. They are fascinating little creatures. And I want to say one thing to start with, and that it might seem pretty obvious, but cats are not little dogs. They are so different. The main reason for this is they're nowhere near as domesticated as dogs. They're still quite associated with their wild ancestors, and that's where a lot of the behavioural traits will be taken back to. So one of the questions I always want you to ask, if you think your cat's got a behaviour okay, yeah. I don't know if I can get it in. Is that better? If I stand like that? Sorry. So one of the things that I would want you to ask, when you notice your little kitten or cat is doing something that you don't particularly like, is why are they doing that? So they don't see you bringing in your £1,200 new leather sofa and think, I know what I'm going to do today, I'm going to scratch the hell out of that just to annoy you. There is a reason behind that, and these reasons can be attributed back to where they came from in the first place. A lot of them can be attributed to scent marking. So scratching is attributed to scent marking as well as conditioning claws. So they scratch for several reasons. One, to take the husks off their claws and condition their claws. They do this because this is one of their means of hunting. This is one of their weapons to hunt and catch their food. Now, although we feed them, they still have this natural instinctive behaviours instilled in them that they need to carry out. Another reason, what do cats do most of the time? Which I would love to be able to do. When they sleep, what do they do when they wake up? Stretch out, scratch, and then go to the football. Basically, what happens in the wild is once, after they've woken up, they need to stretch their muscles out and get ready to go and hunt. And just as we warm up before we exercise, this is their means of warming up. So they're stretching all the muscles out, and you'll notice that they do it out the back doors, up against any fence posts. It's a real big stretch. The marking side of things is both a visual and a scent marker. They've got little scent glands in their paws, and they deposit scent marks on any of the substrates that they actually scratch on. The obvious one is the visual marker, which we all tend to see. If they're scratching in an area that you do not want them to scratch in, it's because they don't have what is suitable for them to scratch on. So if you think about the normal scratch posts that we see in pet shops, they can be about that width, round, and about that tall, quite a few of them. That's nowhere near suitable for a cat. If you think about what your cat does out in the garden or your sofa, it's sturdy, it doesn't move, and it's the substrate that they want to be able to scratch on. So what I would say to you then is get a larger scratch post and make sure it's somewhere suitable for them. So somewhere close to where they sleep is ideal, and right next to the sofa. Might not be sightly for you, and you'll probably find that once you have a cat, your house revolves around the cat, not the other way about. You'll start off with a beautiful house, beautiful furniture, all set out perfectly. By the end of having a cat, there will be cat scratch posts everywhere, there will be toys, there will be food, water, everything will be everywhere, and that's because the cat is ruling your life, and that's the way it's supposed to be. If you don't want that, get a dog. So that's scratching. Spraying. When do they spray? 6-7 months age, they will start to spray, and again, they're getting to sexual maturity, they're getting to the stage where they want to actually scent mark and actually reproduce at this point and mark their own territories. So how do we stop this? We get them neutered. Unless you're breeding, your cat should be neutered between 5 and 6 months of age. There is no reason why a cat should not be neutered. The later you leave it, the more chance there is that they will get to scratch as a natural, normal behaviour. Scratch? Sorry, spray. I told you I wasn't used to doing this. Aggression. Can anybody tell me why a kitten of this age would be aggressive? Sorry? Playing. Fantastic. Playing can create all sorts of behavioural issues with kittens. You get a nice, cute little 6-week-old kitten, and the first thing that you do is put them down and play with them. Your hands are fantastic for them, they're moving around, they can pounce on them, they look really, really cute, they'll grab your hands, they'll maybe have a little chew on your hand. When that little 6-week-old kitten grows up into a 6-month-old cat and then into a year-old cat, claws and teeth are fully developed and they're no longer little pinpricks. At this stage, you might find, if this is the way you played with your kitten, that your feet are suddenly getting attacked in bed. That when your hand rolls out the side, your hand's being attacked. This is the reason they have learned that that is the way for them to play. So the best thing to do is, as a young kitten, adopt other methods of playing with them. Playing, again, is a natural behaviour. It's them honing their hunting instincts. So we need to be able to play with them properly. Wands, wand toys, little balls to throw all around for them are perfect. Just anything not associated with hands. A lot of places sell gloves that you can put on your hands with things on the end of them. Don't use those either. Try to use something as natural as possible with them.